Hi, everybody. I thought I would do a little visitation with you today, and here's the reason. I did a program last night, and it was on transformation, but they only gave me 5 minutes, and who gives me 5 minutes? So the subject of transformation, as soon as I got off the interview, I started talking to myself because I had spent so long thinking about transformation. I had no one to talk to, so now I have you. But I gave it so much thought. I mean, it specifically, the topic was personal transformation. And that is something, that is a topic, it's bigger than a topic. That is the, shall we say, sacred topic we should be talking about at length, because if you looked at this event we're sharing, it is a cosmic size experience of transformation. And I wanted to talk about that. You know, we've had decades, really, of using that word, transformation, that wasn't a word we used prior to the nuclear age, prior to this time. We didn't speak in terms of this era of transformation, but we introduced it in the 60s and the 70s. We started to think that we were living in a time of transformation. But did we actually understand what that meant? We saw social change, revolutionary change. But the thing about sacred transformation, deep inner transformation, is what I thought I would share with you today. Because this experience that we are sharing has the elements of that larger context of mystical transformation. First, the nature of that sacred journey is that we never get to decide when it's going to start, how it's going to start, what will be asked of us. We never get to make that decision. It simply ignites. The second thing is we never get to choose the components. I mean, they just arise out of the setting of our lives. Third, transformation accompanies some kind of trauma. There is something that has to be the kind of fodder within us, that our opponent, something that has to be changed, something that needs to get transformed, like sacred alchemy, that needs to go from this to that. So I'm going to hit a pause button here. When I hear people now speak about, wanting to return to things as they were, to go back to, quote, normal, that's not going to happen. That's simply not going to happen. Going back to the way things were was precisely what needed to get transformed. I don't have a crystal ball. And I have pretty good gut instincts, but I don't have a crystal ball, and I'm not a visionary as such. But we were headed, and may well still be heading, but we were headed in a direction that was not a win-win situation for the planet. We were headed toward climate change disaster. We were headed toward, and who knows what possible disasters we were headed toward had the world not come to a standstill. And while I'm sure, as I've said before, that human beings will, scientists, doctors, who knows, will find some human reason, physical reasons, scientific reason, biological reason from whence this virus has come. I've heard everything from bioterrorism to 5G cells or towers or whatever those are. I don't even know what those are. To this lunatic bat in a Wuhan marketplace. I don't know. Whatever it is, that would be like me talking to you when you come to me and you don't feel well. And we can find a physical cause, maybe your nutrition, maybe this, maybe that. Of course, but it doesn't really describe the fuller journey of your life that has led to this moment, that provided that weakness, that made you susceptible to whatever then activated in the physical world. And that's the real part of your life that requires change. That's the larger you, where all the choices need to be made that transform you so that that vulnerability does not arise again. That's what healing actually is. That you look at this illness and it may have, they may find a physical cause here or there, but it's the whole journey of vulnerability and susceptibility that really is the mystery of that larger scope of who you are and how you became vulnerable to it, and the transformation that you need to undertake to not become vulnerable, to outgrow that vulnerability. And with that same principle in mind, we look at this virus at the larger level and think it is this journey of transformation that we are all on, and that it is in fact bringing up everywhere, but certainly here in the United States, but certainly in everybody's nation, what needs to be healed within the society, what needs to be healed that we would not have noticed before. And at the same time, we are becoming more attuned, more aware. We are dropping our bar in terms of what is of value to us. What is of value to us? I mean, for all the years that I've heard people say, I want my own space. I want my own space. I need to be my own space. Now you've got your own space and you can't wait to have someone come back in it. For all the times we have just focused on ourselves and thinking about huge ambitions and huge plans, now for so many of us, we have to reboot. But is that such a bad idea? Is that such a bad thing? I mean, in one way, heaven is leveling the playing field and giving everybody the opportunity to start fresh in so many ways. And yes, it's frightening, and yes, there's a vulnerability, but there's also this theme of transformation. Like I could do something that I never thought of before, and why not? Why not start anew? Why not? Why not take this time to think, to transform yourself in ways you've never thought of? This is the time where we start appreciating the real truth that we're all going to lose people we know, or know someone who knows someone. This is going to change the context of life. It's going to bring to mind that life does change in a minute, like Buddha said, in the blink of an eye, that it's very fragile, that our values need to reflect the truth that we're here for a very short time and then we're gone. And that what matters is how we are here for each other, not collecting stuff, but sharing stuff. That what matters is how well, how deeply we understand the journey of life as a journey of love, a journey of sharing, a journey of being there for each other. So when I look at this theme of transformation, if I may offer you something to think about on this lovely Sunday, or Monday if you're in the territory of Australia, in that part of the world, I think it's easy to think of transformation as, well, I recycle and I do this and do that. We're done with that level of transformation. That's 101. We have to now go into deep reflection and say, what is it within myself that I need to transform? What is it within myself now? What is the person I need to be as I go forward now for the rest of my life? Whereas, is there a part of me that instead of being a hoarder, I could be more generous? Instead of being impatient, I could be a better listener. Instead of wanting to be first, I don't mind being second. What is it in you that needs transformation? Because something in all of us needs transformation, or we wouldn't be here now. And to that point, let me say this. For all of us who are here now, we're meant to be here now. This is our collective journey. This is our collective journey. So something in all of us needs transformation. All life breathes together. As we heal ourselves, we are going to be healing the whole. That is the truth. That is how all life breathes together. Every choice you make to do something within you that transforms even the slightest part of you is an extraordinary contribution to the whole. It doesn't matter that you don't get it, that you don't see it, but how you calm yourself, how you choose to participate in this journey with just realizing we can't go back. We have to go forward. There was a whole lot that needed healing, and this has brought that out. And there's a whole lot in me that needed healing, and this is bringing it out. And I'm going to participate in that in any way that I can. A lot's going to be expected of us. A lot. The society is going to change. We see it in the news every day. We see it in the news. We are going to be tasked with changing how we live and how we live with each other. And we have to ask ourselves if we can transform from people who are afraid to people who are truly generous of heart, of mind, and of soul. And if we can move with grace as we move forward in this world that we must co-create together. So that is my message to you. I think this is going to be a long journey, not a quick one. I look and listen to those reporters saying, well, when's the date we can all go out and start again, and when's the date we can start? You can't put a date when transformation is going to come to an end. We're going to evolve out of this. We're going to evolve out of this. And I really wish that we understood how much our consciousness, we have for years, had this idea that this held this truth in us, that we co-create our reality. But we don't get that we co-create our reality. We don't get what that means. We don't get how to unify it. We don't get how to work together with that. And we certainly can't even comprehend that the organizing, unifying the whole of us could possibly, healing ourselves, could elevate somehow and change the collective atmosphere. Because that's how co-creation works. That somehow, maybe, that could dissipate the vibrational field that made us susceptible to this epidemic in the first place. Because an epidemic is a collective consciousness event. So, and trust me, I am not coming from that place of fundamentalism. That is the last place. I consider that an evil, but I'm coming from the place of high mystical truth and the mystical laws of co-creation. And I'm delving into those at length in my Phoenix series. The third series will be the mystical laws, and working with those and understanding how your soul just breathes those laws, and that it's time to learn how to work with those because they live in you. But for now, but for this moment, take time to ask yourself, what can I transform in myself? What can I transform in myself? And you know, all of us are going to go a little bonkers every day because we do want to just normalize. And so put time aside to go bonkers. I'm not kidding you. You know, like just say like from 2 to 2:15, 2 to 2:30, I'm going to go a little crazy every day. I have to call somebody. I have to say, I can't take this anymore, and da-da-da, and then get it out of your system. Just schedule it. Schedule your crazy time and put it on the clock and just schedule it so that you get it out and you don't take it out on someone else and you don't, you know, slip into a depression. You don't. Just schedule your crazy time and then schedule your prayer time. My doing these messages started with my telling you that I was starting a rosary circle. And I have continued to do that rosary every day. And I know thousands of people have joined in. And so I'm going to close this by inviting whomever is listening for the first time to participate in your version of prayer every day for this world that we share. And it is the release of grace. And I do mine at 3 o'clock every day and 3 o'clock wherever you are, but it doesn't matter. Whatever time that we hold each other in prayer every single day. Because that too is part of transformation. And I'll always, I have conversations with God on a regular basis. I talk the divine lessons. And I'll say, this is really kind of getting old, but there it is. And one more day of this, and then I'll go and listen. I don't get like visions or anything like that. But a calmness comes over me. And what occurs to me, as it did before I did this video, is that the journey of transformation is a very sacred one, even whether it's for the individual or for a group of people. But that what's happening to a whole planetary community is an extraordinary, truly miraculous event. Not the way we're used to seeing miracles, by any means. You always think of miracles as an instant healing. But this is a healing. This is a healing. This will be a healing. We will, in the end, make life better. We will, in the end, if we go through this journey right, we will make better decisions for each other. We will be more mindful of healthcare. We will be more mindful of the vulnerable. We will be more mindful of the choices a society needs to make. We won't go back to fracking. Things will change if we heal together. So, bless you all. And think about, I'll leave you with this image. This was a prayer of Teresa's, of Avila. Just when you go to bed at night, close your eyes and just release yourself to heaven and just ask heaven, let your angel take you out of your body and go to the realm of healing and just say, heal me tonight. Heal me tonight. Let me rest among the stars. Let me rest among those who have gone before me. Let me rest among the angels, and let the angels of healing release all that I am suffering from. Heal my body, heal my soul, and return me to my body before sunrise. Okay, everybody. Thank you.